So now I want to tell you about a practical application, and this will probably be more fun if I put the lights down. See how effective? Oh, okay. So 4 summers ago, I got to work on a water project at a school in Kenya, about 100 kilometers north of Mount Kilimanjaro, if you're familiar with the area, with 4 engineering students, Rob Best, who had just graduated, and 3 others who were sophomores, so rising juniors that summer. And they were all members of a group that is around at the college, Engineers for a Sustainable World, Mothers Organizing for Sustainability Solutions, ESW-MOSS, because evidently ESW was not a long enough acronym. Okay. And the goal of the project was to take an existing well that wasn't being used on the school property and pull out the old mechanical pump and put in a solar-powered pump so that they could actually use the water. Now, the water, as it turned out, was initially, after the well was drilled, was very saline, and so they weren't using it. But the geologists told us there was a chance that if we were to pump it out, then it would sweeten up, and then they would be able to use the water, perhaps for agriculture, perhaps for cooking even. So the first step in the process was to remove the old pump, which was at the bottom of 50 meters of heavy galvanized iron pipe. Okay, and the galvanized iron pipe was attached to the spigot. So we had to unbolt the spigot, and we erected this tripod using some of the leftover pipes from when they installed it, and just lashed together like that. When you're in the village, you make do with the stuff that you have. And this is a chain hoist that Benson, who's here, borrowed from his buddy. Okay? Now notice there's a wrench right there. That's one of those cheap Chinese monkey wrenches. Okay? And you can see, so far it's working. We've managed to pull up, I don't know, what is that? A little better than a meter of the pipe, right? Okay. Things are going swimmingly, allegedly. Okay, well, we ran into a little problem when the spigot plowed into. So we had to pull it to the side and get it past. And one of the nice things about the chain hoist is you don't have to be very strong to lift 500 pounds worth of pipe and pump and water. So the next little thing that happened is that the rope that was holding the chain hoist to the tripod broke. The gravity was not turned off. For safety purposes. And so this is the top of the spigot, and the pipe that was screwed into the bottom there sheared off and rumbled another 50 meters down to the bottom of the well.
What's your formula for the corner? What?
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah, no problem. Just come up here and help me pull and turn.
Gravity, thou art a heartless bitch.
So that's sort of what we felt like. And there were a lot of steps in trying to first now fish out the pipe and pump, and then install the new one. Okay, so I will just sum up. The third try was something we called the rocket of reclamation. So this is from my lab notebook, okay, after I got back, a design so that we could we could slide this down. It would go over the pipe that was sitting 50 meters below, so half a football field below, in a, in a casing that's about that big, filled with water. And, oh, by the way, the water level was about 23 meters below the surface, so it's 27 meters below the surface of the water. Slide that over and have a little latch that we might design and build, grab onto the coupling between successive segments of pipe. That was the theory anyway, all right? And because we'd already spent time putting more things in than pulling them out of the well, I wanted a backup, so instead of having only one way of holding on to this thing, I wanted a chain backup so that if the rods we were using to lower this thing and manipulate it, if they were to give way, we would not end up depositing the rocket of reclamation, okay? So having hit on this design, we went into the nearby village, and this guy was just an absolute artist with the when power was on. I mean, it's hard to weld there when the power is off, so we end up having to wait a fair amount of time. But here he is fabricating the rocket of reclamation. And this is where the winch business comes in. So I need to have somebody holding 500 plus pounds in case things go bad. So as you've just seen, if you were to wrap the string, in this case the cable, around a pipe, then even Ryan, who is actually a freshman at Carleton now, so that's my son, so he's your class, he can easily hold that weight. So this time, things actually worked. There you can see the rocket, which has grabbed onto the pipe and is, hopefully the chain hoist is going to hold, and up it comes. Now we were promised a goat if we were able to get the pump out, and we were basically eating a vegetarian diet, but my son Ryan is more or less a carnivore, so he was very excited that this goat was providing inspiration.
And there was much rejoicing.
So there we managed to pull it out. You can see pipe segment by pipe segment. We had to unscrew it. The water came splashing out. And there is the pump that had fallen. And if you come visit me in my office, I will show you the cheap Chinese wrench that unbelievably fell down in the well as this thing was tumbling and was functioning as a frickin' brake as we were trying to hoist the damn pipe out. Yay! Any questions about that? Yeah? No. As we were hoisting, the wrench would wedge itself between cracks in the casing and the top of, the rocket and the pump as we were trying to, as we were trying to pull it up, because the rocket was at the top. And so what would you do?
Yeah, harder.
Yeah, so that's what we tried. The first idea is pull harder, okay? So then things are starting to bend and boom, okay, it released. That was good. Eventually we got to where that wasn't working. So we had to shove it back down, build a hook to go grab for the wrench to try to hoist the wrench up and get it free.
And then put it.
Oh, did I mention this is not on Wikipedia? You can't just look this crap up on Wikipedia. You actually have to use your own noggin and figure out how to solve these kinds of problems. And there was much
Professor,
rejoicing.
Your beard is wonderful.
All right, folks. See ya. Yeah. Oh, Python. Yes, I have posted a Python template for the homework problem that involves the simulation. Was that obvious? Did you know this? Good. Thank you, though.